Hey, what's going on, guys? I see Trades here, and today we're going to be doing a technical analysis breakdown on ticker symbol MSTR strategy. And as you can see, guys, MSTR was in a long-term bull flag type of phase, broke out nicely, gapped up, consolidated, pulled back, and now we're in another consolidation type of phase. Question is, are we going to see price break out of this consolidation phase and retest these highs, or are we going to break down lower, continuing to fall after that overextended run up? Before I go deep into the daily chart, I'm going to bring you guys over to the weekly. Now, guys, on the weekly chart, you can see that price was pretty stagnant all the way up, leading to this run up around 2024. You see that flag and pole like structure. Price goes up, consolidates in this range between 103 and 182, forming this flag like structure. Breaking out of that with increased volume, price breaks out all the way to that 543 level, comes down to this bull flag, long-term bull flag type of range. Finally breaks out after hitting that bottom around 232, breaks out nicely, getting over that range, coming all the way up to 425. And you can see that price kind of pulled back after that. After hitting that 425 spot, pulls back very slightly. Now we're kind of trending these last, 4 weeks, last month, getting a little bit tight on the weekly here. Not over analyzing the weekly chart, a little bit overextended, pulls back very slightly compared to that overall run. Seems like we're getting tight. I'm not even retracing half of what that move was. Good sign for the bulls here. Taking you back to the daily, there's a few data points and price targets that I want to point out to you guys. Right after hitting that top of 543, getting this bull flag type of range, breakout, overall breakout move was about a 36-ish% move, right? We moved that up to around where we're at right now, and it aligns perfectly, guys, with that $500 psychological level. So we did see a breakout of where we're at right now. We could very well see a breakout and move up to that $500 psychological level within, the next few weeks to a few months, guys. Definitely possible to see that $500 level get hit. Zooming in, guys, the key points that we see after consolidating from that 400 to 425 level, after hitting that top, get in this little descending type of channel. We gap down, break down 3 hard red bearish candles, break under those 2 support zones of 400 and 391. We bounce off that 369 level for a candle, get back below it, right to that 358 level, and we quickly get above that level. Price gets kind of consolidated in this range of 369 and 391. Following this, ascending support here, 5 touch points, get in this tighter range of that 391, 369. Price isn't getting all that tight. But from that pullback, we found ourselves a consolidation type of range. Instead of fully pulling back, you see after that overextended run, much smaller pullback, and we found our consolidation range. So what that tells us, guys, is that there's a little bit of a back and forth battle going on here. Sellers are trying to push it back down. Buyers are trying to push it back up. We found a little bit of, price indecision where buyers or sellers aren't in full control at this moment. Much smaller of a retracement after a nice run up, and we do lean bullish. And we're getting in this range where price is kind of in this descending type of resistance, meeting with this ascending support, getting tighter in this consolidation range. You see some volatile nature to it. Seems like we are still quite volatile, getting a little bit more tight as time goes on. What you guys want to see here, if we do get a breakout, you want to see volume flush in. Volume flushes in, it aids the buyer's power to break out. If we can work our way out of this descending type of zone here, get above that 400 level, consolidate once again, get stronger, and ultimately break out instead of come back down. It's a very good sign. What we could see, depending on how MSTR continues to move over the next week or two, but guys, getting a little bit more of a deep dive, bit of volatility and indecision. You see that sellers try to push it down. 3 red days in a row, touch that ascending point, gets back up, strong green candle, followed up by 2 more red candles pushing it down, selling pressure as buyers try to pull it up. Sellers push it all the way down, closing quite low, forming this very obvious selling pressure type of candle. Following that is a green candle with a bit of buying pressure. So what this is showing us, guys, is we're following an obvious ascending type of range. Price is still volatile, but it is trying to get tight. If we can see, price tighten up in this range, maintain this resistance as well as this ascending support, we very well see a breakout to that 391 upside as well as that $400 level. And what I want to point out here, guys, is you see that double bottom at that 232.21 spot where it aided this overall overextended run up. As we can see, pretty much triple bottom, 1, 2, 3 touch points of that support, which aided this overall movement. And why is that important? It's a very bullish sign that buyers were in control at the end of this overall descending bull flag type of range. As we can see, that much smaller retracement, getting out of that pullback type of phase, ascending and consolidating. It's exactly what you want to see as a bull. After an overextended run up, it's very common to see a little bit of a pullback. If sellers were gaining back control, you would want to see that price go down, at least to around that $344 level, at least closer to where it broke out. We did not see that bounce nicely off that $358 support level as we are ascending and consolidating. As long as we can stay between that 391, 369 type of zone, get tighter within this resistance and this ascending support, definitely could be seeing a breakout to that 391 or $400 level, as this triple bottom in a longer term perspective shows that we've broken out of this very long term type of range that it was in, and we are remaining stronger as we are trying to trend to the upside. On the hourly chart, you can see how real that support level is. That ascending support touches a few times, getting tight and tighter. 1, 2, 3, 4 more recent touches after that gap down type of movement. So what this shows us, guys, is after topping around that 425 level, price was trying to consolidate, slightly moving down this descending fashion, tries to hold between that $400, $425 level, pulls all the way back, gaps down past that 400 and 390 support zones, gets all the way down to that 358 level, bouncing off there once, twice, back up with its nice green strong bar, hitting that $391 level, trying to regain this overall zone that it was in for a little bit of time. Can't do that. Rejects there hard with that resistance, trying to get above it, for some hours, guys, 4 or 5 hours. Goes back down to that $369 level, gets under that, hits that ascending support that we see here. Then we get back up to that 391 level, touching that again, reject around that level, touching this resistance zone. Price moves down in a little bit of a tighter fashion, not as volatile, still somewhat volatile, hitting that exact point 2 more times, hitting it once again, and now we are slightly holding higher as we try to trend back up, touching that exact zone. Now what we're seeing here in the most recent perspective is that resistance getting tighter, starting to meet up with that ascending support. So sooner than later, guys, price is going to have to make a decision. Can't stay in this range forever. Over the next few days, we're going to see if price can get tight, break out, get back in this consolidation zone, or if we're going to get tight, continue to break down, retouching that $358 support, seeing if that can hold up once again. 358 can't hold. 344 is another zone where we've consolidated in the past, where we could see another move down there. But I think that is very unlikely. After that obvious overextended run and smaller pullback, and you can see price try to put up more of a fight. Buyers are still in the game. But we're seeing it get kind of tight between this range. Price is going to have to make a move soon, and I would say that's 70% to the upside around that $390 to $400 level, and 30% that we move down, retouching that $358 support level. All right, guys, now on Bitcoin, you got to watch Bitcoin if you're trading MSTR. They often move together. What we can see here is quite similar in this descending flag type of range. We break out. We see a beautiful run up, pretty overextended run up all the way to 112,000. Then we get in this zone between 103,000 and 106,000. And of course, that psychological $100,000 level, consolidate quite a bit there, bouncing off that 100K zone a couple times, really showing how strong that 103 to 106,000 zone really is. As we consolidated there for some time, we got back above it, and currently we're trying to get back above it, trending around 107,000. This is exactly what you want to see. This just solidifies how strong this support level of 103,000 is. As we covered in our past MSTR and Bitcoin analysis videos, 106,000 is a very stubborn resistance zone. As you can see in the past, tries to get above it, wicks above it twice, rejects hard, get in this zone, retest it, rejects multiple times before getting in this long-term descending type of range. Then we finally break out of that, guys, retouch that zone, reject, finally get over it for some time. Holds for a few days, guys, holds for about a week, a little over a week here, gets back under it, gets really tight comparative to what we saw in the past. This volatile nature gets very, very tight. Every candle here is a day. See how tight it gets between that 103,000 to 106,000 zone. Sellers try to push it down to that 100K zone. See that long wick. Buyers buy it back up, getting back in that zone, getting above it, coming back down. And now instead of retesting that 100,000 zone, we see that buyers don't let sellers push it back down to that 100K zone. We hold higher at that 103,000 zone, and we're continuing to move it up. So everything you want to see in a bullish perspective, I think Bitcoin is looking good. Question is, how long can it stay in this zone? Is it going to set another lower high as we saw 112,000, retest again? What do we see here? Another lower high right around that 110,000 type of range. So the question is, if this can hold higher, if if we can get above that 110,000 and close higher, it's looking very bullish for Bitcoin as a whole. Looks like we might be headed to all-time highs. But guys, if we close lower, creating a lower high in this formation, say around 108,000, 109,000, we continue to trend lower. Not the greatest sign, as it would be just lower highs in this overall formation. We see in the past that price can definitely get in these descending type of ranges. So it's definitely not impossible. We see something, it's overextended run up and price finally finds itself in seller's control. We see a little bit of something quite similar, descending to around that 95,000, 92,000 type of range before trying to trend back up. And if you've kept up with Bitcoin and MSTR, they've had trouble moving together. They haven't moved together as much as they do in the past. For example, Bitcoin's having a nice day here, reaching around that $108,000 level, while MSTR isn't really seeing that type of action while Bitcoin's seeing that. So keep that in mind, guys. A Bitcoin dip would probably hurt MSTR pretty bad, especially since we're in this consolidation range where price needs to make a move soon. I'm neutral to slightly bullish on MSTR. I think we're going to get that leg up and retest that $425 level. Keep your eye on those more recent support and resistance zones and see what MSTR does within the next few days and weeks. See if we can regain that control to that psychological $400 level and price can start moving up in this overall consolidation range. If you guys found value from this video, consider liking and subscribing as I'll continue covering MSTR as well as other major tickers. Trade smart, and I'll see you guys in the next one.